Destiny, our debate bro hero, fresh off a video shoot for a debate show, is live on YouTube, spilling the tea about how propaganda has rotted people's brains.
Need a patriotic identity to get behind, something that feels patriotic and pro-worker. Right wingers are MAGA. Bro, I don't know how much of the video that I shot today will get released, but like, and I'm not even trashing any of the people that were there. These were all lovely, wonderful people, but it was like 20 people, I think, and they were all like pretty normie pilled. But like, it's hopeless. Like every single, it's an abundance of misinformation. I don't even know how you could possibly communicate with somebody. Like the topic of like alternative and mainstream media came up. And when, the question is like, do you think that alternative media has been superior to corporate media? And when the other person's like, yeah, I mean, we can see that because look at how wrong corporate media got everything wrong about the vaxes. And it's like, okay, hold on. Like to even start on this conversation, like it's going to take an hour to even get to the question. Like, wait, what do you mean when you say that? So you think Joe Rogan was right about most of what he said about the vaxes? Like, that none of that, like basically none of what he said was right. Like, what do you mean when you say that? Or every single topic that came up, a lady did the J6 thing and she was like, I don't think Trump tried to incite a coup. There were federal agents on the ground that were instigating everything. We had a question where there were like 17 people on the other side and 2 on my side. And the question had to do with like, do you think DEI is horrible, basically? And I remember asking this, I was like, I'm curious, can one person over there, can one of you name one DEI program? And not a single person knew anything, nobody, but they all were on the strongly or like absolutely disagree with DEI. Like nobody even knew one DEI program. Like, wait, what are you even so mad about then? It's just like, it's an avalanche of disinformation. And I have no idea how you're supposed to overcome that. Wait, is it a Jubilee? No, it was a Peter Boghossian thing. There was one other one. Oh, there was a thing. There was like 16 of them on the other side. And it had to do with like, do you think that the main reason why illegal immigrants came in under Biden was so that Biden could win the election? And by the end of this, I remember I just had a question for the other side. I was like, wait, okay, let's assume that this is true. How is it that when Biden was in office for 4 years, less people voted for Harris than for Biden? Did Trump bring in even more illegals to vote for Biden? How does that make sense? And then they switch arguments. They're like, well, Harris was just such a bad candidate. Harris was such a bad candidate that the illegal immigrants that you bust into the country to vote for her to bring in more illegals wouldn't vote for her. She was that bad of a candidate? What kind of an argument is that? That's an unhinged argument. Wait, what? Like, it's an insurmountable amount of misinformation that you have to get over. To even start to have the conversation.
Destiny, perched in his streaming setup like a digital Don Quixote, tilting at windmills of disinformation with a keyboard instead of a lance. He's just come from a debate shoot, some Peter Boghossian production, not a Jubilee circus, thank you very much, where he was surrounded by 20 normie-pilled folks. These aren't your blue-haired, pronoun-declaring coastal elites or your red-hatted, trucker hat-wearing MAGA warriors. No, these are regular people, the kind you'd meet at a suburban barbecue, passing the potato salad and nodding along to classic rock. Lovely, wonderful people, Destiny insists, with the weary tone of a man who's just spent hours trying to explain gravity to someone who thinks objects fall upward. But here's the kicker. These lovely folks are so steeped in propaganda, their brains might as well be marinated in a Fox News TikTok smoothie. And Destiny, bless his contrarian heart, is out here trying to mop up this informational oil spill with a single paper towel. Let's set the scene. Destiny's at this debate shoot, probably in some sterile conference room that smells faintly of coffee and existential dread, surrounded by people who have been fed a steady diet of alternative media gospel. The topic comes up, is alternative media superior to corporate media? And before Destiny can even open his mouth, someone's like, duh, corporate media got everything wrong about the vaccines. Cue the record scratch. Destiny's eyes probably widen like he's just seen a flat-earther win a NASA grant. He's thinking, hold up, we're starting here. I need an hour just to unpack that one sentence. It's like trying to play chess with someone who thinks the pawns are edible. The conversation's already derailed, and they're not even out of the station. This moment, folks, is the perfect metaphor for where we are in 2025. Propaganda hasn't just infiltrated our discourse. It's moved in, redecorated, and is now hosting weekly book clubs where the only text is a 280-character X post from some guy named Patriot Eagle 1776. Destiny's not trash-talking these people. He's emphatic about their loveliness. But he's staring into the abyss of their misinformation and seeing a void so deep it makes the Mariana Trench look like a kiddie pool. The vaccine thing, it's not just a random talking point. It's a symptom of a world where Joe Rogan's 3-hour rants carry more weight than a peer-reviewed study, where do your own research means scrolling X until you find a meme that confirms your gut. And Destiny, armed with nothing but logic and a Twitch chat cheering him on, is trying to bridge this chasm with a rope made of facts. Spoiler alert, it's not going well. For a second, because this isn't just about one debate shoot gone awry. It's about a society where propaganda has turned our collective brain into a pinata, and everyone's swinging at it with a different stick, some labeled mainstream media lies, others alternative truth, and a few just marked vibes. Destiny's recounting this experience like a war veteran describing a battle where the enemy was armed with half-remembered YouTube clips and a burning desire to own the libs. Take the January 6th discussion, where a woman confidently declares that Trump didn't incite a coup. Oh no, it was federal agents stirring the pot. Destiny's probably sitting there, pinching the bridge of his nose, wondering if he accidentally wandered into a QAnon fan convention. It's not just that she's wrong. It's that her entire worldview is built on a foundation shakier than a Jenga tower after 3 rounds of tequila shots. And then there's the DEI debacle. Oh, DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, the right-wing's favorite boogeyman since critical race theory got too many syllables. Destiny's in this debate, facing a 17-2 split like he's the last Spartan at Thermopylae, except instead of swords, his opponents are wielding talking points they don't even understand. The question's something like, is DEI terrible? And the room's practically chanting, yes, it's the worst. Destiny, ever the glutton for punishment, asks a simple question. Can anyone name a single DEI program? Crickets, tumbleweeds. The awkward silence of a room full of people realizing they've been raging against a concept they couldn't define if their lives depended on it. It's like watching someone storm a castle only to realize they forgot what a castle is. Destiny's not just exposing ignorance here. He's shining a spotlight on how propaganda turns complex issues into bumper stickers, and people eat it up like it's a Michelin-starred meal. But the real gut punch comes with the immigration argument. Someone at this debate, probably with the earnestness of a Sunday school teacher, suggests that Biden let in millions of illegal immigrants just to rig the election. Destiny, by now probably running on fumes and Red Bull, tries to engage. He points out the obvious. If Biden's master plan was to flood the country with voters, why did fewer people vote for Harris than for Biden? Why did Trump still win? It's a checkmate, right? Nope. The other side just pivots like intellectual gymnasts to, well, Harris was just a terrible candidate. Destiny's left staring into the camera like he's in an episode of The Office, because this isn't an argument, it's a fever dream. It's propaganda's greatest trick. When facts don't fit, just change the story. It's like trying to nail Jell-O to a wall, and Destiny's out here with a hammer, wondering why he even bothered. Now, let's get metaphorical, because this whole saga is like a cosmic tragicomedy where the script was written by a conspiracy theorist with a vendetta against coherence. Propaganda's like a virus, and not the kind you can jab away with a vaccine. It's the kind that rewires your brain until you're arguing with your cousin at Thanksgiving about whether the moon landing was a DEI initiative. Destiny's not just fighting misinformation, he's battling a cultural autoimmune disease where people's brains attack facts like they're foreign invaders. And the scary part, these aren't fringe lunatics. These are normies, the backbone of society, the folks who coach Little League and volunteer at the food bank. They're not evil. They're just drowning in a sea of disinformation, and their life rafts are made of X-posts and podcast clips. As a liberal, this is where the despair kicks in, but also the dark humor. Because let's be real, we're all complicit in this mess. We built a world where clicks are currency, where outrage is engagement, where a 30-second TikTok can outrank a PhD dissertation. Destiny's out here trying to have a conversation, but it's like shouting into a windstorm of algorithm-driven noise. The corporate media. Sure, they've got their biases, their sensationalism, their obsession with horse race politics over policy. But alternative media isn't the cure. It's just a different flavor of poison, served with a side of "trust me, bro." And the normies at this debate shoot. They're not choosing sides, they're just swallowing whatever's fed to them, because who has time to fact-check when you're working 2 jobs and doom-scrolling to unwind? Destiny's livestream rant is a cry for help, but it's also a comedy goldmine because the absurdity of it all is almost too much to bear. Picture him, gesticulating wildly, recounting how he tried to reason with people who think federal agents orchestrated January 6th like it was a Coachella setlist. It's like watching a stand-up comedian bomb in front of an audience that's heckling him with conspiracy theories. And yet, he keeps going, because what else can you do? Give up? Move to a cabin and knit sweaters for squirrels? No, Destiny's out here fighting the good fight, even if it feels like he's bailing out the Titanic with a teaspoon.